So for those of you that may have tried to watch our Facebook Live a little while ago, we had some, we'll just say, technical issues. So we're starting all over again. And welcome to the 5th week of our Inspiration in Lockdown with my guest, Angela. And, you know, she is not only a guest, she's a colleague as well. We're both artists, but very specialized in what we do. The artist in me takes many different breaks of being creative to being a full-time transitional coach and mentor to people, which I love to do. And we both decided that one of the topics today would be new inspiration that's been birthed. And how do we do that during lockdown? And we've been talking to a lot of people. Hey, Wendy found us. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. Good morning.
Wendy.
Wendy's been wanting to be part of us for quite a while. So this may go on for longer than what we do, usually 30, 45 minutes. We'll see how everything flies. So, you know, in a recap of the past 4 weeks, we've been talking about inspiration in many different forms. I mean, people, when they think of inspiration, they immediately think of being an artist and being creative in some sort of way. And it's usually the response we get is, I'm not creative in any way, shape, or form. You know, I can barely manage to cook a meal. And so we take this inspiration, creativity. Good morning, Miss Natalie. My special, beautiful daughter, Natalie's on board here. So we want to take the inspiration beyond the fact that it's not just about being creative in that artistic sense. That inspiration comes from within, and from without it can come from within as well as within. So we dabble in that as well, called spiritual awakening. So Angela and I were going to briefly talk about, well, who knows? Why do I say briefly, Angela? Because, you know, we get on so many different subjects. You know what I'm saying? We do. And
I know.
here we go again, where I can't bring you on, both of us together. But I'm going to try to do this again as we go about this. But Angela, as I try to get us both on together again, I'm going to move the camera over to you and let you have the floor for a few minutes. Here you go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Duffield Warren. Thank you for joining us again. It's wonderful to talk about being creative and inspirational. And I was talking to Judy a little bit earlier about the challenges of trying to do something new. And, you know, as a creative person, or even as a person that's in lockdown, it's not easy to change a routine, number one, and also decide now, what am I going to do with all those hours, you know, that are available to me. And even as an artist, I get stuck. And what I do when I feel stuck and I don't know what to do with my art or what next creative project I must do, I actually sometimes change the medium. Like instead of doing watercolor, I do colored pencil. And I'm busy struggling with this at the moment. Is yesterday I actually spent the day feeling frustrated and struggling and not knowing what I want to draw, what medium I want to use, which direction do I want to go in. And I felt myself being pulled in different directions. And I read something that said creative people have so many ideas that sometimes not all those ideas we can bring to fruition. So it's important to write all your ideas down and then pick an idea that you want to work with. And I find I have to do that. And that's why I journal first thing in the morning. And I decided just go ahead and start drawing. Sometimes I just do that because I get so stuck. I can't break that feeling of, oh, I can't do it. What's the end result going to be like? So whenever you start something, you must have the courage to overcome your own fears and your own expectations about it. And what I mean is, like, when you bake a cake, you don't know if the cake's going to come out looking wonderful, it will flop. So the same thing is, like, when you're creative or try something new, you just got to go and do it. You don't know what the end result is. Even as an artist, even though I'm experienced, I don't know what the end result will be like. I don't know if it will be a painting that I could sell or even show people on Instagram. I've got lots of paintings I don't show anybody. And they're stuck in drawers, you know, and sometimes I tear them up and throw them away. So I think the thing about being challenged to do something new is to overcome the frustration, your own frustration, and get out your own way. If there's something new you want to do, then if it's a skill you don't have, then go find courses or go find people that can actually help you to upgrade your skills. learn how to do work with certain materials. Like with me, I'm learning how to use colored pencils. And that has always been a challenge for me as an artist, but I'm jumping in and I'm challenging myself to do something new. But I'm going to Skillshare. It's a site where you learn from other artists. So I learn from other artists. Doesn't matter how long I've been doing this. And I find my biggest challenge is having the courage just to take that first step, or to do that first drawing. It doesn't matter how many, I do this every day, but there's times that I get stuck. And what I do is I just do something small. I could start off with a sketch just to break that fear and break that self-doubt that creeps up. And I think everybody has self-doubt. And that can stop you from actually going with the flow of your own inspiration. And sometimes we think, oh, I really want to do that, but I've got to go do this now. I have to do this. And it's a challenge to practice, just saying, okay, let me sit with myself. I mean, Judy, you taught me this. You taught me how to check in with yourself and say, what do I want to do right now at this moment? Do I want to go sit in the sun? Do I want to go drink a cup of tea? Do I want to go listen to music? Or do I need to go listen to something that's positive? So I think with checking in with yourself, that's part of your inspiration, because your mental, your physical, and your emotional body must feel right. Also, for you to allow inspiration to come in. You can't be out of alignment with yourself, because else inspiration, you won't allow the inspiration to come in the first place. So that's the thing that I want to, you've got ways of helping people to connect with the inspiration. So, yeah.
Thank you. And yes, thank you for that. And that's so true. And people are nodding their heads and speaking out about that. And Angela, for some reason, I can't seem to, let me just play around with something for a minute. Okay, I got it. Thank you. I'm going to hide you, Suzy, for a minute, only because it would not come on for the both of us. For some strange reason, it would not. Okay, so, and this is what our 5th week playing with the Be Live app, and we've never had so many problems with this before. But Angela, thank you for that. And as Wendy says, that speaks to letting go of the outcome. Hey, Jason, how's my favorite son, my oldest favorite son today? I know how you are. Never mind. I know how you are. Thank you. You can come in behind Suzy and wave at me if you want. No one can see you yet. Hi, sweetie. So, we're going to talk about many forms of inspiration today and not just sort of stay on one subject. But, while Suzy's sitting there patiently waiting in the stream, Angela, why don't we bring her in? And because Suzy got inspired, she is not an essential worker. So she, has been home, and she got inspired to actually bring in some money this past week or so, in the past couple of weeks.
Great.
Because and she was doing it because she wanted to be inspired and creative, and the inspiration was inside. So let's bring in Suzy for a minute. Okay, so oh gosh, golly gee. There we do. I did it. Hi, Suzy. Oh, hang on. I got to unmute you.
You do have to.
There you go. Hi, Suzy.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Fine, thank you.
Natalie says hi, Jason and Suzy.
Hi, Natalie.
So, Suzy, do you have pictures of what you've actually done this week?
I do. I'm not sure how to screen share. How do I do that?
I don't know if you can or not, Suzy.
This?
This
I
is,
can. Give me one second.
Can you?
I can.
Yay. Wendy, yes. 5 planets in retrograde. It plays with electronics. Plays with the head, Wendy.
Everything.
But it's a matter of what buttons do you push, how, where, and when on here, Wendy, right? So have you got a screen share, Suzy?
I do. Just give me one
second.
second.
Suzy got creative and inspired. So I can show in stream. Nope, I can't. It's not letting me. Nope, Suzy, sorry, it's not letting me.
Okay. I'll see if I can pull it up on my phone here then.
Yeah. So talk about what the process was for you, Suzy, with that. Like, how did that happen? I know you've been on these lives with us, for the past 5 weeks, and what was the process to help you move into that inspiration?
I think for me, it's always been an interest to do something else than what I've been doing. And so I've really utilized this time to actually do what I've always wanted to do, is to bring out my creative side and make something that others would enjoy as well. So I'm just, I think that's it really, is just I finally have the time to be able to do what I want to do. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
enjoying
Hello.
that.
Like, hello, right?
Yeah.
We have the time, and this goes back to what I've been saying since day one, people, about we're all have the creativity within us. Every single one of us has the creativity, inspiration within us. It's a matter of allowing it to come out. And, by releasing the outcome, and Wendy had said that already, releasing the outcome of what it's supposed to look like, feel like, sound like, whatever it is we're creating, because we judge ourselves, don't we? We judge ourselves on, well, that looks ugly. That doesn't look anything like Picasso's. That doesn't look like Angela Duffield Warren's lion picture that she does. And it looks so simple when she does it. And I've spent 2 days, and I'm not an artist. I can't do that. But when we try to imitate or copy people, that's when we lose our inspiration. But we can get our inspiration from watching Angela paint, which we're going to talk about our YouTube channels too, because Angela is uploading videos continually on YouTube about how to start to paint. And, Angela and I are both artists, and I haven't painted in many years. And we talked about this probably 3 years ago, about how, Angela, if you can teach me how to do those little fairies and dragons, because I'm a landscape artist, and I can do fine stuff. I've done a tiger before with pencil and charcoal, only one, right? But does that build my self-esteem? No, it was only one, and it was a fluke. I mean, I can't draw, right? But anyway, to build our self-esteem is okay to watch other artists, as long as we don't try to imitate them to what they do, and it's allowing your own expression. So Suzy, do you have a couple of pictures?
I do. So I don't know if you guys can really see it.
Yep, tilted a little forward to the camera. There we go. That's made out of wood. Look at that.
I love it.
Isn't that cool? Now, someone had said, is that a cat stand or a plant stand? And I say either or. Like, get inspired.
Yes.
Right, get inspired, do what you want. Cats would love it, especially if there was, a little rug on it or something where they could sleep, or hanging toys where they could go and bat it. I don't think you want it as a plant and a cat stand. That might prove to be a little messy.
Could be.
And you guys have cats, so there we go. Tilt that forward again, Suzy.
Oh, wow. Look.
So that's a little statue that I picked up and I fixed. It was all broken, so you can see the back of him where I fixed it.
Yeah.
Oh, cute. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Look.
Sweet.
Oh,
And
that's
really cool. Oh, it's
Wendy says stinking thinking. And Wendy says nice.
yeah, it's very nice.
I don't even know. It doesn't really work.
So Suzy, what about the process? Because I know that you were working full time and you've got 5 kids at home, and then you've got my son to be put in that big mix, and that big house to look after, and an impending move and everything. So how do you find the inspiration? Like, where do you go to receive that? Okay, so let me just preface this by, as artists, Angela and I are artists, and it doesn't take a process for us to be inspired. I mean, I look outside at the skunk this morning and I'm inspired to do something, right? So, I mean, we don't need a 10-step process to get inspired, because we've already released that creativity within us. We've already acknowledged that we're creative and that we're artists in our own right. So, Suzy, how do you go about that?
I've always had an interest in doing something like that. So I think for me, it's just being able to finally get it out. The inspiration for me, I think, is my kids. They enjoy doing arts and crafts too. And so I get them involved. Like when I was making the plant shelves, I got my sons involved to help me cut, measure, and all that. So they had a lot of fun with helping with that as well. And when I did the painting of the statue, my daughter really got interested, and she and I, we actually painted a table, and I let her creative side out, and she painted bumblebees and flowers and stuff on that. And then my son decided that he wanted to do something like that too, and then he painted his phone case. So it was kind of like a family thing where everybody kind of got involved. So
Yeah, and you allowed them to be themselves in that.
yeah.
Right? And you didn't judge them. So
No.
Lauren says that goes for everything. Don't try to compare yourself. Lauren, I sent you an invite because Lauren is another artist, an incredible artist. And Natalie says, beautiful. Thanks, Natalie. Um, so let's see if Lauren is able to come on. I'm not sure. And Wendy, are you able to come on? I put in the chat the link to come on because I think it's fun to be able to share with others about how we are inspirational in anything we do. And it's interesting that I had a client that said to me once, I'm not creative, I'm not artsy fartsy, I'm not anything, but I like to cook in the kitchen. And I'm like, well, hello, that's being artsy, that's being creative. You like to cook. I mean, even following a recipe is creative because you're adding the ingredients in by yourself. So that's why I don't want anybody to think, well, I can't make that what Suzy just made, or Angela's drawings that she's doing now. They're going, oh my gosh, look how it just flows out of her so wonderfully. It's what Lauren said, don't try to compare yourself to anybody, right?
Yeah.
So
I think that's important. Sorry, Judy, I just wanted to say,
fine.
comparing ourselves to somebody else's skill, even I look at other artists and I think, oh my gosh, I'm not at the level that they are. And, it's ridiculous, like I look at myself and I've been painting for years and being an artist since I was 12. But the point is not to be intimidated by somebody else's skills.
Yeah.
I think by celebrating somebody else's skills, and I've learned to do that with other artists, is to celebrate along with them, celebrate their skills. And, I'm always learning from other artists. I never know everything. And I think having that attitude that you will never know everything and that you're open to learning new things can also allow, you can build on somebody else's idea. Oftentimes somebody talks about something or you see a project that you want to do and you may improve on it. You may do something that you adapt that makes it even better than the actual project that you saw. And I think that's what inspiration is taking an idea and adapting it towards what you want the outcome or what you want it to look like. And you put your unique signature on that. And I think it's just a fear. All creative people, anybody has this creative or just a block because fear steps in and self-doubt steps in. And I think it is a real challenge and a practice to push that aside, your fear and self-doubt, and just push over that hurdle and then just push yourself forward and say, okay, I'm just going to try this. And I won't show anybody. I don't have to show anybody. If it's a disaster, then that's okay. Then I've learned something. And every time you try, you learn something new. I create new artwork by first trying, making a few mistakes and saying, I don't like this. I like that. I'll keep this part and I'll keep this method. Like the way that you build your structure. Suzy might be a way that you've actually learned how to use your tools as well. So that's the process for me as a creative person, is just to help yourself get unstuck, is just start.
Yeah, start. Well, look at this. Look who's coloring while listening.
Natalie, that's fabulous.
Look what she did for so here's my Mother's Day card. Oops, hang on. Look at that. And then look at this that she did.
Wow, Natalie, that's beautiful.
Look at the intricate work there.
That's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Oh, it's stunning.
And her handwriting, look at that.
Beautiful. Natalie, that's fantastic. Wow.
So she is over, the past while of us being together has learned she has learned that it's okay to stop and be creative. Wendy says, beautiful. I agree, Wendy. And Lauren says she likes to bead and cook. Yeah, I know that. She does incredible beading. So, this is so good. I'm glad that, Suzy, you were able to come on and show us what you're doing and your inspiration. And no matter how big of a household you're running and how many kids you have and things that you're doing, that there's always time to stop and be creative. And that's going to lead us into the next part of the show that we're going to do. And that's about the self-care essentials. And Angela and I have been talking about that. Last year, I ran a ultimate self-care something. What I can't remember what it was called.
Essential self-care.
Yes, yeah, ultimate essential self-care. And I ran a group for about 6 weeks. And I was doing videos and Zooms, I think, and a Facebook group every single day, multiple times a day, talking about, and this is last year, talking about how essential care is so necessary. And we'll jump into that. But first, let's thank Suzy for being brave enough to come on, Suzy, and be with us and show us your incredible things. And not only that, she does really cool things with plants too. She macrames. You macrame. I haven't macrameed since I was in my 20s. I used to macrame all my plant holders in my 20s when Jason and Angie were little, like toddlers.
I just made one yesterday again, so.
Good.
Wow.
See?
Yes.
It's coming. It's coming back. Macrame is coming back. Yeah, Suzy made me one for my birthday. So, and I'm going to hang it out on my new deck.
Yeah.
So Natalie says, thank you. You're welcome, sweetie. So Suzy, thank you. We'll have you back again. Thank you. Thank you. Much love to you guys for today and everything that's going on in your life. Thank you, Suzy.
Thank you. Bye.
So Miss Angela, oh my gosh. So let's move into that. Let me see if I can bring that up in a different way.
There we go.
Well, whatever. Nope, not there. Okay, let's leave it like there. So let's talk a little bit about this because this got birthed because of a need of my clients, for one thing, and whoever else I'm talking to, and just what I see and know, that people are not looking after themselves. And even those that are, and I'm going to talk briefly about this, even the people that are looking after themselves, and I'll talk about my journey at another point in time, probably on YouTube, that I am 63 years old and I'm basically healthy. I take no medication. I have no dis-ease of the body. I have been working with my immune system for the past 6 months because of environmental toxins that I was ingesting 24/7. But I am getting stronger and better. So even me, who was healthy to begin with, plant-based, organic, dealing with my issues and my stresses and things and no medications and things like that and looking after myself, there's been challenges. And there's been a challenge with one of my mentors about having a cancer come back. And so people are, even though we're looking after ourselves in physically, emotionally, and mentally, us who are the forerunners, who are the way showers, who are the light workers, who are the empathic ones, who are the coaches and the mentors, we're still dealing with our stuff. We're still dealing with cleaning out the residential shit that lies in there emotionally. And as we know, the emotions always show up as physical. So I knew that I needed to start another group again. This all comes back to starting another group again about the self-care essentials. And it's about not just health and nutrition, but it's about the self-love. And this self-love, guys, we could talk forever about self-love. And Angela is a perfect example of signing documents for the doctors to put her down, so to speak, euthanasia, to put her down to
Nearly there, not quite, but nearly.
to loving herself, right? They were going to put you down, Angela, to loving herself beyond where she is now being an inspiration not only to herself, but to others. And that's going to be, we're going to follow up next week with that about the self-love, inspirational self-love. But we're going to start with the self-care essential group. And Angela, I'll let you talk a little bit about it as well.
Well, I think that there was one thing that even at the age of 45, I didn't actually know what self-care was. And when I met you, you introduced me to this concept of self-care. And, even though I'm a woman and went to spas and, did manicures, all sorts of things, and I thought that I was looking after myself. That was not self-care, as you explained to me. self-care took on a whole new meaning for me when I met you. And because I was suffering with a lot of health issues at the time, like the systemic lupus and being on chemo, chemo tablets for systemic lupus because I had nothing else, coming out of a bout of you know, having hypermobility, which means that my joints stretch and that sometimes they go out of alignment. And I used to fall. There were so many things that my knee joints would go out of alignment and then I would fall. And that I didn't have stability in my joints. And I also became semi-disabled in my hands because of this hypermobility. So for me, I think part of all of this was that I actually lacked the knowledge of how to take care of myself. I would go to doctors would give me tablets, I would come home, drink the tablets, and lie in bed if I wasn't feeling well or had pain. But that is not enough. And you taught me a lot of things. Like you taught me how to use um, castor oil packs on my knees, which actually helped repair my ligaments. And also using Epsom salts and taking Epsom salt baths. And those are things that are fundamental to our lives, but we forget to do them because we put ourselves last. We're always doing that, and especially in this day and age where we've been in a do, go society.
Yeah.
And I come from that. So when you told me to slow down, it was actually a challenge for me to do that. It was a challenge for me to actually take a good look at myself and assess my daily and moment by moment what I was feeling and why I was feeling uncomfortable in my own body, why I was feeling depressed or anxious or fearful, or why that my body pain was getting worse and how I could deal with it. And I started using arnica oils. I changed my diet, my nutrition. I decided I don't want to eat meat anymore, and I just wanted to eat veggies and be vegetarian. So I started to understand my body and my health habits, and the unhealthy habits that I had physically, health wise, everything. And you made me aware of a lot of things and how to look at myself, um, objectively, to actually just take a look at myself. And
Yeah.
that's very hard to do, is to face yourself. So, the self-care was a huge part of my healing. It was a huge part of my trauma that I've been through, just generally the depression, anxiety. I find that now, to combat those things, I go into self-care mode. And you're always talking about how extreme that is. And that's why
Yeah.
this group is essential at this time as well,
Oh,
because that helped me heal. That
yeah.
was part of the
Mhm.
journey, healing my physical body. And I still have issues, but I can manage them a lot better. And for a time period, I've been off my medication because chloroquine, I can't find it in South Africa. There's no chloroquine anywhere. And so I was off my meds and I was okay for a while. But as we discovered, I have pain again. But the extreme self-care is really, really important if you have that dis-ease in your body.
Yeah.
You explained it to me. Yeah.
And Wendy says she has SLE lupus as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough. It's not an easy illness to have because you can look well, but on the inside, you are struggling with a lot of pain, a lot of issues with joints and stiffness of the joints. There's a lot of things that you don't see with a person who has lupus. And also, you can't just go out and visit people or make any arrangements. Your whole life changes when you're ill because you actually have to live day by day. And your
Yeah.
friends and family and everybody has to know that if you cancel an appointment or going out or on a Saturday night going out with friends, they just have to understand it's not because you don't love them or want to be with them. It's just you can't physically do it. So,
That's right.
so that is something I've had to work through, and you helped me with that. You really
Good.
did.
And look how far you've come. This
Yeah.
is what I mean about, this is why this group, the self-care essential, group is going to be started back up again. And Angela and I are just working on some details on that because she's the prime example. And so am I too, but she's the more extreme. I mean, I hadn't signed doctor's orders for euthanasia, right? So, and I laugh at that because we look back at that now and it's like, oh my gosh, can you imagine? I mean, look at the fun I've been having since I decided to stay alive.
It's terrible. You know, when you have so much pain that you actually want, I was contacting organizations that could end my life because, you know, it kept coming up in my life. And I actually sat my family down and said, this is it. I've had enough. I've had enough of the pain. I don't want to live anymore. And, you know, lucky for me, none of them contacted me back. None of them. None of them emailed me. But I was at that point of so much pain in my body. Yeah. So much pain. It's excruciating pain that I had bone pain. And my doctor said to me, there's nothing to give you for bone pain. So I had bone pain and nerve pain. And the nerve pain, they give you like Lyrica or whatever, because my nervous system had been damaged. So you know, being at that stage of I want to die is when I meet you.
Yes, I know. So it's all perfect timing, you know. So, you know, into self-care, and these are the stories I want to present to people because everyone thinks their story is the worst. Everyone thinks that there isn't anyone that's suffering more than them, or that they shouldn't suffer. And we want to show you a way out of the suffering. You know, as you can see, Angela's not on her deathbed. So, you know, there's ways out of that, but it becomes an awakening. And there's something else that we should bring into play today. By the way, we're going to both put our YouTube channels links in the stream, in the feed when we're done with this. So please go and check our channels out. I am constantly inspiring people throughout what I do here and in my YouTube. And Angela is painting, which is, you know, how you watch a cooking show or you watch someone paint. It's moments of relaxation and moments of de-stressing time. Plus, you can do it too, because she offers practical, simple advice with that beautiful South African accent of hers. So we also want to talk about the Guide to Spiritual Awakening. Now, this is something that I put together about 2 years ago, that Angela was instrumental in working with me as a graphic artist and an inspirational idea person. We would constantly throw back ideas, you know, and it was wonderful. And there's the link there, and I'll actually put it into our feed as well. So, you know, why I wanted to form the membership guide is because I'm constantly inspiring people, and not everybody through Facebook algorithms and things can see what I'm doing and to watch all my videos all the time, which is fine. And I thought, let's all, you know, we both of us thought, let's all put it in one place so people can have access to it whenever they need to. So I made a quick short video this morning of what this membership group is and what it entails, and it's constantly being added to. So let's bring this up if I can do this. Oh man, let's see if I can do this, Angela. So we hide you, we hide. So here we go. Here's the site, and it's a simple log in, the Seeker's Guide to Spiritual Awakening. And here's, you know, everything about this site, you know, how to say no and follow through, how to let go, meditations, groundings, intuition, how to build your wisdom, your physical body, you know, all of the things that we need to learn in life, self-care, sustainable living, healthy eating. Here's about your intuition. Affirmations are so important. And your intuition. So here's some videos and training about your intuition, you know, questions about your intuition. And I keep adding more and more material in here as I build it, you know, and each video is me personally talking to you and helping you about many different topics and questions you're going to have in your journey of spiritual awakening. Because it is a process, you know, and intuition will take you into the five-dimensional place, which is a higher level of consciousness. We all have intuition, we just haven't been trained to retrain ourselves. And so here's some other topics. Daily inspiration. I mean, here's energy, the law of vibration and attraction. There's 38 videos and posts in there as of to date on everything to do with your energy, your frequency, your alignment. How about being accountable and responsible, which changes your life? How many times have we been taught to be accountable and responsible,
Hi,
and how
everybody.
that will show up
So,
and
one of
how
the
that will
things
change our
that
life?
I teach
Information
my
on your
clients
chakras.
first and
How about
foremost
information on forgiveness?
is that
And
they
then,
are
of course,
responsible.
we need to deal with our doubts and our disbelief about things, right?
When things don't work out for you,
Yes. So
or
our
so you think they're not
passion, our
working out for
purpose,
you,
and why we
it means
procrastinate,
that you're not in the
our four agreements, you know, affirmations are so cool. And then we've got daily inspiration in there, you know, of things that can inspire you daily. All about ascension. How about staying grounded? And I've got meditations for you in there. Your walks on
to be in
purpose,
this
I will
moment.
record them for you. And it's so awesome because we constantly need reminded.
Breathe in.
This site is so awesome. I That was weird.
No, I actually can see it. It has been played, the whole video played on the live. I
But
love it.
was it garbly? Did you hear garbled sections?
No, I heard it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really, really great. So I managed to see some of that over there. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do a better take of it, but I wanted people to have an idea of what it is and what it was, and
Mm,
you know, and how they can benefit from having everything in one place instead of trying
mm,
to jump on lives, instead of trying to watch a webinar or a Zoom session when they're live. This way it's
yeah.
at their convenience. So I want to make sure that gets put out there. Plus, we're working on the self-care essential group. And so,
Yeah.
first of all, we're going to wind this down. And
Mm,
I think, you know, we've had a great time today. I'm glad Suzy came on board, and I'm glad Angela was able to talk more about her experiences as she moves through more inspiration that's being, you know, birthed every day. Like both of us have our YouTube channels up and running right now, and where I spend a lot of my days and a lot of my time and energy and inspiration, plus in my membership group. So I'll put the link up there. We'll let you know when the Self Care Essential group is up and running. And other than that, Angela, what do you want to say as we close this out for today?
Well, I also think that people must let us know if they want to continue to hear us speaking about inspiration. It is a very broad topic. There's a lot of things we can talk about. If they want us to continue, they must let us know in the comments. Then we can do another one next week. Also, going to move over to the self care group and also to the Seeker's Guide to Awakening. You have an awakening group there. And we're going to be doing videos in there where we're helping people who have experienced spiritual awakening or are experiencing spiritual awakening. I had mine 2 years ago. And yeah, and you can't do it alone. Most of the time, you don't know what's going on. And I didn't. And Judy, you helped me with this. And that's why the spiritual awakening group has been made, because we're going through quite a big ascension process. There's a lot going on, shifting in the energies, and you're very in tune with all that. So this is going to be that support group, which Judy gave to me. It's going to probably be not just one-on-one. It's going to actually be in a group session, isn't it? And then the self-care group is just to help people to stick to the regimes of self-care, to understand what self-care is, give some ideas on self-care that they can also do, and check in with each other to see, what we need to do. And we were thinking of putting on some PDFs, some making some books, some PDFs that people can actually, maybe take away as well in the group and work on their own journaling and their own self care, etc. Okay.
Right, right. Yep. That's it in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, guys, thank you all for being here, and the replay viewers as well. Please leave comments so we know what direction to keep moving in, because Angela and I are a good team together. We always have been, and we knew we would work together at some point. So thank you, Miss Angela, for your awesome presence.
Thank you, Judy.
And on
And you're
that
giving me
note,
a talk, so thank you. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to collaborate with you and to help people, because that's what we're trying to do,
we
inspire
are.
and be of service to others. So thank you, and thank you to everybody who listened.
Yeah, that's why we give up our time. We care and we're empathic, and we want to support and inspire others to for their empowerment. So on that note, blessings to everybody. Thank you, everybody. We will talk soon. We'll see you next week, same time, and everything else in between. The links are there for the YouTube channels. The link is there for the Spiritual Awakening group, the Seeker's Guide to Spiritual Awakening membership group, and any other links as well. So bye for now, everybody. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.